Hello everybody, what is up? Before you guys ask, this is not going to be a regular weekly series or something like that, or something I'm going to do. This is just going to be me talking about things, video game confession as it says, and it's going to be like whenever I think of something that I could talk about and such that I might want to talk about, without having to do like a top 5 or top 10 list, because originally one of my Spiral videos I touched upon this subject I'm going to talk about, and I said it was going to be in a top 5 unpopular opinions that I have. But mainly the biggest reason I was going to do that video was because of this opinion I have. And this video is going to be me explaining why I don't really like A Link to the Past for Legend of Zelda. Now, don't get me wrong, I think this is an okay game, and I love the Legend of Zelda franchise. It's a masterful franchise with tons of great games. It's got stuff like Wind Waker, it's got Ocarina of Time, it's got Majora's Mask, it's got the first game, it's got a whole bunch of good Game Boy games, it's got a whole lot of stuff. Twilight Princess is pretty good. And even games that some people hate, like Skyward Sword, I think are okay. And Link to the Past, in my opinion, falls in that exact same boat of okay. Because, like, this is one of those games that is built up as one of the best in the franchise, and one of those that people should always play. Like, oh, if you're gonna get an SNES or play a Legend of Zelda game, this is one of the ones you should play. And for the longest while, I was hearing that, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to try it. And so when I was like 16 or 17, I decided to get an emulator and play this game to try it. And I was enjoying myself for about the first like 35, 45 minutes or so, until eventually the sense of awe started to drop. Because Legend of Zelda has this thing built into it, a sense of awe, a sense of adventure, and a sense of exploration. It makes you want to explore the world, it makes you want to see everything you can, and it makes you excited for the adventure you're going to embark in. Skyward Sword didn't have as much of that. In my opinion, Link to the Past has that same problem for the most part. It felt like it was being overhyped, like it was one of those things that people kept talking about and praising. And if you go into it after all that, my expectations were very, very high. So I was very disappointed, and I felt like, wow, this game sucks. So I decided to go back to it when I was like 19 or so, and I had a much bigger appreciation for what it did for the franchise. But I still felt like a lot of the same problems were there. I didn't have that sense of adventure. I didn't want to explore anything at all. I just followed the walkthrough, basically. And eventually I got to the point where it felt like it was a chore. I wasn't enjoying myself. I didn't really like the temples or the dungeons. I didn't really care for many of the bosses. Like, some of them were kind of fun, but the rest of them just felt kind of eh. And stuff like that. The story didn't really intrigue me at all. And you might be like, Legend of Zelda isn't for the story. And I'm like, well, actually, quite a bunch of Legend of Zeldas have some really good story and some good mythologies and stuff and backstories and all that. And I didn't really get that from Link to the Past. It felt too plain to me. It felt too by the numbers. It's like, oh, evil guy's here and stuff like that. And you might be like, oh, Ocarina of Time does the same thing. But the thing is, Ocarina of Time has that huge sense of adventure to it. You open it and you're like, oh, I'm going on an adventure. In my opinion, it has that strongest feeling of adventure of all the games ever. It has the strongest feeling of that. You might say the controls don't hold up too well, or the graphics don't hold up too well, but that feeling is there, and it is very, very strong. And it's not here in Link to the Past. I'm not saying the game is bad. It's got some good graphics. The game works fine. It's entertaining, I guess, but it just wasn't for me. It was hyped up so much, and it just felt like it didn't reach it for me. So, in my opinion, the game is okay. Even going back to it and knowing this kind of feeling, I still felt the game was only okay. I'm sorry if you love this game, it's your favorite game. It says nothing about you as a person if you love this game or if it's your favorite. Wonderful. Good for you. Keep loving it. Keep playing it. All the power to you. But for me, I just can't. I can't get into it. I can't love it like you do. I can't enjoy it like you do. I just think it's honestly quite overrated. And sure, some of you might disagree with some of the other opinions I said, like the feeling of adventure for Ocarina of Time, but for me, this is how it seemed. And that's one of the biggest things about Legend of Zelda. And that's one of the biggest reasons why Link to the Past was very disappointing for me. So, that's it really. I might have more of these soon in the future, but until then, make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe, if you enjoyed the video, of course. Check out my other videos, also make sure to check out my supporters, all that great stuff, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.